Our topic for today is another topic, but this is mostly talked about, right? Because this is very, very common as one of the parameters in our medical examination results, something like that, okay? And it's gonna be under lipids family, and it's gonna be specifically cholesterol. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's gonna be like that. Okay, it starts from the basic, okay? So how can we do this? Because there are also portions that need technicalities, especially for the chemical reactions. Okay. So cholesterol. First, I will be able to introduce the chemical formula for this. Okay. 27 atoms of carbon. C27H46O. Like that. Okay. There's no subscript in the oxygen. Only the atoms will be in the carbon and in hydrogen, something. This is our cholesterol. Oh my gosh. Okay. So the same with polyphenol, there's an OL, meaning there's an attachment of OH in your rings. There's a lot of rings there. Okay? But we are not focusing on that. Okay, that's too highly technical for science professional graduates only. Okay, and related to medical science, but in here we will just discuss the general formula. 57 atoms of carbon, 46 atoms of hydrogen and oxygen. Just like, if you can remember the chlorophyll, okay, the chlorophyll has a very complicated or complex formula in terms of structural formula. There's a lot of rings, chuba, chu. Okay, then it's not really healthy to memorize. As long as you know already the carbon atom contents, like that, for these atoms of the hydrogen and oxygen, then fine. It's really easy to understand the chemical reactions already. Okay, so what do you mean by a cholesterol? So relatively, what is really the function of cholesterol? Okay, in your part. Let's look first for the positive features of this cholesterol. Then the next will be the negative features, okay? Or we will say the positive health effects and the negative health effects later. Okay, so cholesterol, the main function is for, okay, one of the major component, okay, major structural component of our cell membrane. One major structural component of our cell membrane. Okay, like that. Okay. Why we need to have this? Because our cell membrane, like that the cell wall or like that the inner wall and the outer wall are very, very flexible, like that, and then that will regulate the flow in and flow out of different substances, because that is not totally closed. That is semi-permeable membrane, meaning it will regulate the substances that will go out, go in, go out, go in, something like that, including also the fluids, secretion of different types of juices, not only the substances. Okay, then once it will be inflamed, will be wounded, it will become bleeding. Okay, so that is the function of the cholesterol. Okay, to make it strong, solid, rigid, so that it will not be wounded easily, it will not be bleeding off, something like that. So that's the function of cholesterol. That's why we need also to have lipids in our body. Okay, lipids converted to triglycerides, and later on we will be converted to cholesterol, something like that. Okay, so this is the major structural component of our cell membrane. Ganon. So what are their secondary functions for cholesterol? Okay, so apart from this, we have raw material or precursor. Okay, like that. Precursor. Okay, to produce vitamin D. Okay, vitamin D, steroid hormones, ganon. Okay, you get the point, mga palangga, kita. Okay, steroid hormones and the bile acids. Now let's discuss one by one. What do we mean here? Okay, cholesterol for vitamin D. Okay, so I kept on discussing this a while ago, that all of us human beings, we need to expose ourselves in the heat of the sun, because the cholesterol, let's say C27H46 plus O plus the heat of the sun, okay, will yield vitamin D2. Okay, vitamin D2. So the cholesterol will absorb, okay, the heat of the sun. So this could be particularly the phosphorus, something, because we have the sunlight phosphorus free, okay, natural, created by the Lord our God. Just like this helium, hydrogen, and phosphorus, something like that. Not that so many phosphorus there, but there are constituents phosphorus there, free, natural. Okay, so though the sun is completely having a large percentage of gases, the hydrogen and the helium, due to nuclear fusion, right? Something like that. If you can remember the study of chemistry, nuclear fission and nuclear fusion, nuclear chemistry is the best study for the sun, something like that. So let's assume that we know already the nuclear fusion, it will produce helium. And then later on the phosphorus, something like that. Okay, we need phosphorus because it's needed also in the oxidative phosphorylation of photosynthesis to produce, glucose from the plants. Okay, that's not our topic, that's only a side story, but we are going here directly. Okay, so we have the cholesterol plus the sunlight to produce vitamin D2. Okay, the vitamin D2 will go to our liver. Okay, and then it will synthesized by a specific enzyme. Let's say, for example, dihydroxylase, ganon, chuchu. Okay, and then it will go to the kidney, something like that. Okay, so we have now here vitamin D. Okay, so from D to vitamin D. Okay, so meaning to say, this is function of also the cholesterol. Second, steroid hormones. So let's review steroid hormones. Where does the steroid hormones come from? So basically it comes from the gonad, the reproductive organs of the male and the female. So if you talk about the organ, gonad. If you talk about the hormone, that's another thing. So like that. So if we have the cholesterol, it will be converted to, okay, later to testosterone. Okay, testosterone, and then with a binding specific androgen for that to make it completely stabilized. Okay, then it will become also testosterone plus androgen, and then it will become sperm cell. Okay, sperm cell, we have the semen or the cum. Okay, what's the spelling of the cum? C-U or C-E? I forgot. But it's gonna be like a sperm cell, semen, or cum. It's basically the same as testosterone plus androgen. This is hormones composed of a lot of proteins coming from the cholesterol. And also for the girl, they will produce also estrogen. Estrogen to produce the, the fertilized egg ovule, something like that, to produce a baby in the ovary and uterus. That is also coming from their cholesterol. So basically saying, the baby will not born if there's no cholesterol. You get the point? Because that is the raw material, okay, to become a baby. Oh, like that. Okay, so that means we need to maintain our cholesterol in adequate level. What's really wrong, it's more than what is required. Okay, that it can cause obesity, like that, cardiovascular diseases, hyperglycemia, okay, whatever, okay, peptic, a lot of diseases, right, due to cholesterol, heart attack, okay, myocardial infarction, atherosclerosis, like that. So it's related to cholesterol because there's a blood clot in your blood vessels, in your epithelial cells, the lining of your blood vessels. Then if there's a blood clot, it will produce plaque, like a solid, very hard solid deposits. And then your artery cannot, function very well. Okay, things like that. Okay. So, monosodium cholesterol, very important also. Okay, now the last will be the production of bile acids. Okay, then we need to discuss also the bile acids. Okay, so the cholesterol is the raw material to produce bile acids, something like that. And then, because we need to maintain insulation inside our body, we need to have fuel for the proper metabolism inside our body, the anabolic metabolism and the catabolic anabolism. The anabolic metabolism is to produce smaller molecules to a larger molecules, and our catabolism, that is what we call now the burning process of calories that we have every day when we do the jogging, when we do the walking. That's the opposite of anabolism. That's catabolism. The catabolism is the metabolism we always refer as the ketosis, the burning of fats, the burning of calories. That's what we mean there. That's only one type of metabolism, the catabolism, the breakdown of larger molecules into smaller molecules, meaning smaller molecules will be the waste products. Could either be the solid substances or any waste or liquids, something like that. Okay? For example, the sweat, like that, blah, blah, blah. And the different electrolytes and salts that will be removed during your metabolic cycle. Okay, ganon siya for the bile acids. Okay, this is also juices, bile juice or secreted juices. So it will be in the pancreas. Okay, like that. Then if you cannot maintain these bile acids, that's why it will go to your stomach and your stomach will become big. So bloating stomach, and then it will known as visceral fat. So your stomach will become bulge. So you will not look very good. So unproportioned. Okay, you got the point? So just like a balloon, just like pregnant women. Okay, the bile will stay there in your stomach because uncontrolled cholesterol also, mainly the fats. Okay, that's gonna be like that. Okay, then that is bile acids. So very important, right? Okay. Now we need to maintain the level of cholesterol inside our body. Okay. What is the level of cholesterol inside our body, mga palangga komitan? Okay. So we're gonna maintain at least 150, something like that. Okay. Or less than 150. Okay, because that is for triglycerides. 150. So it's gonna be let's say 120 like that milligrams per deciliter like this. Okay, for our LDL or bad cholesterol. Okay, like that. So because cholesterol is composed of two types, the bad cholesterol and the good cholesterol. The bad cholesterol is the LDL and the good cholesterol is the HDL. Okay, so the HDL means high density lipoprotein and the bad cholesterol is low density lipoprotein. It has to do something with the density. So take the two. The two have different densities. So the more it is denser, meaning to say it is a very light, okay, to flow directly, it's the LDL. Meaning to say it will flow directly rather than the HDL, which is high density, higher molecular weight. So normally, the LDL is very active. It will go different places to places like that. So that's why this LDL can really stop because it will go anywhere. Something like that. Okay, and if there will be a improper blood flow circulation, then poor diet, something like that, or whatever, and then you don't have to choose the right selection of food, healthier food, and the problem is there will be a lot of blockage and obstructions there due to the solid deposits of this undigested and dissolved solid substances brought by this LDL. Okay, the LDL also was stuck also there, of course. Okay, along with the other substances. Okay, not only the cholesterol. And the HDL will lower the LDL, this function. Okay, like that. So because high density lipoprotein is very good, is good to our health. Okay, it must be at least above 45 milligrams. This is deciliter, but it will not be more than 120, things like that. Okay, you get the point? So never mind the quantity or the amount, as long as we need to maintain, not to eat too much, oily substances. Okay, like that, meat or any fatty substances, just like for example the cheese, the mayonnaise, what else? The barbecue, okay, chicken masala, charot lang. Okay, you get the point. Anak siya, avoid the processed meat. Okay, things like that. Okay, so that is the function of the cholesterol. And now we go to the discovery. Who discovered cholesterol? Who discovered cholesterol? You don't have an idea, right? So, Has anybody tell you to this who discovered cholesterol? Okay, I think it's only me, right? Okay, you get the point. Okay. So the one who discovered cholesterol is really Michel Eugene Chevreul in 1816, 18th century. Okay, Michel Charot, okay, Eugene Chevreul. Okay, in 1816, she discovered that the cholesterol is first a glycerine, and then it converted to cholesterol. Okay, sorry, cholesterine. Okay, and then cholesterol. Okay, my mind is on the glycerol because I love glycerine. Glycerine is to smoothen our skin as a moisturizer blended in cosmetology products. Glycerine. Okay, the formula is 8 atoms of hydrogen, 3 atoms of carbon, and 3 atoms of oxygen. Okay, moisturizer siya mga palangga. Okay, so that's why it comes on my brain cell. But actually, cholesterol converted to cholesterol. Okay, who is the one who found first the solid deposit by looking at it in the experimental test? There's also the one who identified that it's gonna be a cholesterol. Okay, so kinsa man siya? Okay, that is si Franco. Okay, Politier. Difficult, right? Politier de la Salle. Wow, nakatanda ka. Franco Politier de la Salle. Okay, in 1769, 17th century. Take note, it took a lot of years for the real discovery of cholesterol. After this Franco Politier de la Salle. Okay, he said that the cholesterol is gonna be a solid deposits in the gallbladder, and he called it as a gallstones, and then that is largely cholesterol majority. That's why he really equated that to his identified that as a cholesterol, the solid deposits in the gallbladder or the gallstones, first identified by Franco Politier de la Salle in 1769. Okay, any questions so far? These are the people, okay, that really discovered what about the cholesterol existence. Ganon. Okay, you get the point. Now I will ask you something. Does the prokaryotes cells have cholesterol or not? Or only the eukaryote cells? Eukaryotic cells and prokaryote cells. There are two types of cells, right? For biology. Okay, you get the point? So they have cholesterol or not? Kaloka. For example, the virus, he has the cholesterol or not? Diba? Okay. This is my question. Does the bacteria, germs, parasites has cholesterol level or not? Or only human being has? Okay? This is only a question. You can answer that yes or no. Ganon. So actually, the prokaryotic cells have no cholesterol. Okay? Like that. You get the point. So only the human being and the animals, something like that. Okay? The eukaryotic cells. You get to have cholesterol level. You get the point, mga palangga kumitan. Anak siya. So any questions so far for the cholesterol? I will never explain the chemical reactions inside our liver. That's another vlog. How can we come up with vitamin D and absorption of calcium with the partnership and collaboration of vitamin D for the health of our bones. That's another thing also. That involves, technical discussion regarding the chemical reactions of vitamin D2 to vitamin D, and there's a lot of enzymes. Okay. And there's also vitamin D also can be obtained through food supplements or food intake. The vitamin D3 will be converted to the vitamin D also, and have also corresponding enzyme to produce that vitamin D. Okay, you get the point. So the vitamin D3 sa mga pagkaon, sa mga food, sa mga drinks, sa milk, like that. Okay, milk, liver, fish, peanuts, like that, soybeans, like that, avocado, like that. So these are rich in vitamin D, and also the fish have vitamin D. Okay, usually if it contains omega-3, there is also vitamin D. And in fact, also eggs have vitamin D. Eggs. Okay, you get the point. Based on my source, Mr. No, it's not Dr. Eric. Yeah, I have a source here. Dr. Eric Berg and Dr. Brad Stanfeld. They agree with each other that the eggs have vitamin D, good for the bones. Okay, and the protein of the eggs are higher than the meat. Imagine, okay, the protein of the eggs are higher than the meat and the fish. Amazing, right? But everybody don't know this. Again, the protein of the egg is 32% compared to meat and fish, which is only 17%. Oh my gosh, that's too far, right? I love to eat. That's why I love to eat eggs. The maximum is 5 times a day because eggs are very, very nutritious, guys. Okay, you can double check in different www web. Maybe I'm wrong, right? Okay, something like that. So eggs are very, very healthy, really. Okay, so I will summarize the benefits. It contains choline for the developmental brain functions. Okay, for good memory, intelligence, and mood. It contains also vitamin E. Okay, good for the heart and for the skin. Oh my gosh, I love it. It contains vitamin D for the bone health also. It contains vitamin A, the carotenoid, for good eyesight, which are specifically the lutein, okay, and the zeaxanthin, something for eyesight's clarity in your vision. The only difference, guys, lutein can be found in the yellow and the zeaxanthin in the orange. Because you know, the egg yolk are composed of yellow-orange. Okay, as you can see, if you cook eggs now, okay, there's yellow, there's also a little bit orange, and then yellow-orange, like that, right? The more yellowish part is the lutein, and the more orange part is the zeaxanthin. Well, these are good proteins to avoid cataract, you know, the blurred vision, and also the macular degeneration, the disease of the eyes. Okay, it's also found in the egg. Wow, bongga talaga siya. In fairness, it also contains omega-3 fats, good for the heart. Oh my gosh, nakakaloka na. Okay, it contains high cholesterol, but it happens that HDL is higher than the LDL. Okay, the high density lipoprotein positive cholesterol is higher than the bad cholesterol. That's why when you add the two, we will say high cholesterol. Okay, but that is a wrong concept because they did not investigate which among the two cholesterols are higher. It happens in the experimental evidence that high density lipoprotein, which is a good cholesterol, is higher than the bad cholesterol. And that's also found in the eggs. Okay, you get the point. And not only that, also eggs have rhodopsin. Okay, rhodopsin is a protein also for, you know, for the health of our eyes. Okay, the retina, okay, the lens, whatever. Okay, a lot, guys. Makabuang jud siya. Okay, that's why I'll have stocks eggs also apart from the free eggs distribution in the canteen. But I don't rely to that. Okay, I need to have my stock of eggs. You get the point. Citrus fruits also inside the refrigerator. As I told you, I don't rely on multivitamins and vitamins or any tablets or capsules. Okay, you get the point. Anak siya. Any question for the cholesterol thing, mga palangga kong hitad or nothing? Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, you can like this comment if you want to like, and you can share also if you want to share. And then you can subscribe to my channel. This is again, I'm a signature voice. Bye bye, God bless everybody. See you later.